much trouble are the 76ers in?
Skip, I told you this. I said they're in big trouble. And we talking about, well, if Joel Embiid is healthy. I said, well, if Joel Embiid is unhealthy, they're losing the series. I said, even with a healthy series, this is going to be a long series. The Hawks are good. I don't know well, they shocked the Knicks. No, they didn't shock. There was no shock. I told you the Hawks were going to beat the Knicks. Skip, they got guys that can score, they can shoot the ball. All of their guys can shoot with the exception of Capella. But what Capella does all the things. He rebounds, he sets good hard screens, and, he'll defend. So he does what he does. But when you talk about Trae Young and Bogdanovich and Werther and John Collins and Gallinari, all those guys can shoot the three ball. And again, what did they do very well yesterday, Skip? Shoot the three ball. Now, they're going to need this type of performance from Joel Embiid every single game because everybody that's waiting for the Hawks to cool off, I wouldn't hold my breath. Now, I'm not saying they're going to make 20 threes, but they can make timely threes. And every time early in the fourth quarter that the Sixers would get close, Bogdan would hit one. Werther would hit one. Trae Young would hit one. This game really shouldn't have been that close, but it just goes to show you the Hawks, they're a very young team. They don't really have guys that's ever been in this situation. This is a Bogdan first playoff. This is Trae Young's first playoff. There are a lot of guys that hadn't been in this moment, and so they didn't handle the pressure situation very well. They won the game, but this is going to be a long series. In actuality, Skip, I would be less surprised if the Hawks won than if I saw Milwaukee beat the Nets.
So you want some of me on Hawks? You want to go? You just stole game one.
We didn't steal it.
Yeah.
We didn't steal it. We told you we were coming. It was on the schedule for like 3-4 days, so we didn't steal it. We didn't sneak up on you. Get you again.
I'll take the Sixers for 3 cases right now just to win the series. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I'm up. I got like 10 cases the last 2 games.
You have not gotten 10 cases. You got 5. On one game where I just flipped around because I was sick and tired of my Clippers.
That's okay.
And I gave you back 5
I'm about to get
cases.
3 more.
I'm only at 45.
And now I'm going to get, guess what? But this Utah series, I get it back. This Utah series, I'm going to get it back. Utah and Atlanta going to get me right back in the mix.
Okay, so what I saw yesterday was the Sixers came out flat in the first quarter. They did not take Trae Young as seriously as you have to take Trae Young. I think he's about 5'11", they say he's 6'1", but I call him Maestro, you call him Maestro.
Yeah.
But the point is that in the second half, they finally got serious with him. They just said, well, he's not going to beat us, and he couldn't. So what happened to Trae Young in the second half yesterday? He goes 3 of 10 from the floor. He goes only 0 of 1 from 3. They just wouldn't let him get a 3 up.
Right.
And he gets to the free throw line 0 times in the second half, and he's a minus 13 in the second half for a grand total of 10 points in the second half. Well, he torched him in the first half.
Yeah.
He was the reason that it was a crazy halftime deficit. It was embarrassing at halftime. To give up that many, what was it?
74.
74 points. Woo!
Against a top-ranked defensive team.
This is the second-best defensive team statistically in basketball. Interesting.
And they did that?
Okay, and in the second half, they look like the second-best defensive team. And in the fourth quarter, they definitely look like it because they won the fourth quarter 41-29. And if they could have just gotten your old friend Danny Green to make a couple of
told you that's the Danny Green that I know.
Well,
that's the guy I've been looking for.
It's good Danny and it's bad Danny. It's hot Danny and it's really cold Danny. And yesterday it was really cold Danny because he took 4 threes and missed all 4 of them. And in the fourth quarter, he took 2 threes that were timely. They were game changers. They were roof rockers.
That would have broke their back.
It might have broken their back. And he missed both of those. And Tobias Harris missed a key one. And Maxey missed a couple of key ones. So the point was they almost got him. They almost did. But Bogdan finally just stepped up and said, I'm sick and tired of this. And he made a huge late 3. And then Herter made an impossibly great pass out of a double team in which he was stymied on the far baseline and
when
threw it up court. And it resulted in
they got a clear path and the ball back.
Got the ball back. And that was the basketball game. But I think Philly's going to feel real good about itself, except for this. Even though you look at the numbers, the numbers are pretty good for Joel Embiid. What's he wind up with? 12 of 21. He makes 14 of 15 free throws as always. So he's 39 points and 9 rebounds. And he has 4 assists, and he blocks 3 shots. That's pretty good,
Yeah.
right? Didn't look quite right to me because I know his game. I love him. I think he's the best big man in basketball. I think he's more valuable than Joker is. But the point is that he favors the right leg. He's got a tiny meniscus tear, cartilage tear in his right knee. And it's not the knee that was surgically repaired, but again, he gets the demons in his head about these little knick-knack injuries. And this isn't knick-knack, but they think they can muddle through with it. But he has to believe in his head it's okay. And there was one late where he came down a little awkward on the right leg, and it stung a little bit, and he's fretting coming up the court. I don't think he was quite right down the stretch. I don't think he was quite Embiid confident down the stretch. So that could do them in, but he still put up big enough numbers that even at, I'm going to call him 85% of Joel Embiid, that's good enough to overcome Capella and the Hawks.
And guess what? If worse come to worse, guess what we could do? Hacker Simmons.
Well, you could try.
3 of 10.
I know. It was terrible.
Hacker Simmons.
Yep. So what do you got? Atlanta in 6?
I got Atlanta for 3 cases over you.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 6.
6. I think it's going to take all of 7 games because I respect the Hawks because they have depth of shooting.
They can shoot it.
They have a whole bunch of shooters who can come at you from everywhere.
And Gallinari hadn't been playing well in these playoffs, Skip, and we know he can shoot the 3.
He can get going. And by the way, your favorite player, Solomon Hill, who sent LeBron packing, basically, he was pretty good yesterday.
He had a big 3.
Yep, and he plays hard, and he does a lot of the dirty work. I've never seen anything quite like how hard he plays as a veteran defensive stopper for them.
Yeah, we got this one.
So you got it?
Got this one.
You know what?
Hawks.
All of a sudden, Trae Young is starting to believe his own hype.
Yeah,
and he's starting to jack up threes at an alarming rate because he was 4 of 11, but the damage all came in the first half. So he was, in the last 2 games against the Knicks, he was 7 of 25. And what did I tell you? I complimented him at the end of the regular season because the best thing he did this year was he cut back on, especially logo threes. He dropped his threes per game from 10 a year ago to only 6 this past
He
regular
had a
season.
couple of poses too. You saw him hit the long ones.
Yep.
He shot a couple of them from Pittsburgh. Shot one from Erie. Yeah, way down there. One from North Jersey.
Did he?
Held it right there in front of the bench.
Okay.
And you saw Bogdan told him, "Y'all getting too
Well,
loud up
he did
here."
that. I fear his
loud.
threes more than Trae Young's. Trae Young better keep it down to a low roar and take 6 or 7
Don't worry
threes,
about that.
or you're going to be in trouble. I hope he jacks up 15 a game.
You better hope not, because he's just as apt to go 9 or 15 and shoot y'all right out the building. But y'all in trouble. Y'all are in a heap of trouble.
I'll do one case alone on game 2
Nope.
if you want to do
Nope,
that.
I already
one?
got me 3.
You're good?
Philly cheesesteaks on you, Skip.
I don't eat Philly cheesesteaks, but you can.
Well, y'all about to eat something?
Even if it was a really, really good Philly cheesesteak,
No.
you wouldn't do it?
No.
Gotta live a little. I will eat
Neither
it
would
for
Shannon.
you. If you,
No, I
yes,
ain't
you
had a-
would.
Man, I ain't had a cheesesteak in so long, Jenny. It might not be. It might not be the best in the
as
best
much
interest
as I
of my
want to
body.
hang out with you outside of work, you guys are no fun.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.